Alrighty guys, and welcome back to another educational informative build on what I run and why I run it on the killer. Now this is my build I recommend on Demogorgon. Now there's two perks that I highly recommend on this build much rather than the others, and those two perks are Corrupt Intervention and Save the Best for Last, but we'll get into details real soon. But before we do that guys, make sure you hit that subscribe button for more educational killer and survivor content. If I don't remind you at the beginning of the video, I'll probably forget to remind you at the end, but let's just see how it goes. Now realistically, am I following the 4 principles of how to play killer in terms of the 4 basic fundamental perks? Now you can run any perks you want, but generally I like to break them into categories. Not all my killers apply by these categories, but this one does. Gen protection perk, yes. Situational awareness perk, yes. Stability perk, yes. Utility perk, yes. I'm following all those principles on my Demogorgon. Now, I'm not saying that's how you have to play him. You can go for a crazy I'm all ears build with Bamboozled and Moonwalk Mind Game. Some incredible shred players, you can do that as well, which wouldn't follow all the principles. But this is what I run and have a lot of success with in the red ranks with no add-ons on your boy, Gordon. Alright, first of all, what does Corrupt Intervention do? In fact, let's explain the ability. He has 2 abilities. First ability is going to be Shred, and the second ability is going to be the Portal of the Abyss. What does Shred do? Gordon will open his face, like you guys can see there. He will hold his hands out, and he will be able to do an incredible dash at 460% movement speed, being the fastest lunge, the furthest lunged in Dead by Daylight. It's even faster than a nurse blinking. It will not go as far as a nurse blinking. It has a maximum distance of 11 meters, and it has a 2.25 second cooldown if you miss. If you land a successful hit, it will be longer than that too. Keeping in mind, if you land a successful hit, you will do 1 damaging point, and you will lose all momentum for about 3 seconds or so while you recover from it. Now that we know all about Shred, let's look at the next one. The longer you hold your face open, the further you go as well. So keeping in mind, you can go for a cheeky moonwalk, a quick shred, and then go for a small dash as opposed to a long range dash. Much like a nurse blinking, where she charges her ability and a fully charged is a closed fist. Demogorgon, when his full ability is charged, you can't really tell. I'm pretty sure his face jitters, but you know, it takes a little bit of time, about 1.5 seconds, 2 seconds to go the whole 11 meters. When you dash, you go in a straight line, and because of that, you can't really turn, but you do lack. You've got an incredible amount of movement speed, but it's easy to flick around. Keeping something else in mind with Demogorgon, if you shred on an angle up against a wall, you will glide along the wall. You won't like collide straight with it. So if you need to do like a cheeky moonwalk, hide light shred because the guy's coming to a pallet, you can twist around the corner and then go straight for the wall. It can be really well played. It's more of an advanced Gordon technique. I've done it in a couple of my videos, but I just wanted to try and explain it for you guys too, what I try and do when I do it. Now the next ability is going to be the Portal of the Abyss. What does this do? I can basically walk almost anywhere on the map and put my hand on the ground. This will activate a portal. One portal or one tunnel by default does nothing. I can then walk to another area and put a portal on the ground. If I were to look over my shoulder, the previous place will now have a white portal. White portal means it is not active. If I hold my right mouse button as if I was going to shred, my face opens and my senses are connected to the portals. Okay? An unopened portal means it is not active. If I then go through the ground, through the portal I'm currently at, and go through the other one, I am undetectable during this time, but it makes a large sound indicator for survivors to know. This will activate both portals. Activated portals can be physically seen by a survivor. They can walk up to the portals and break them. That being said, if I am to right-click while they are anywhere near my portals, I will hear a very fast pulsation of their heartbeat, much like you would as Legion, of where they currently are if they're within 3 meters of an open portal. If the portal is not open, that will not work. Therefore, you can track people when they're working on Jennies, if they're coming in for a hook save, all these kind of things. So keep that in mind. That is very hard and complicated to use on Gordon, but it's one of his strongest features, especially if you double portal an area. One invisible portal around a wall where people can't see it, blocking line of sight. One obvious portal in front of a generator. Therefore, they break the obvious portal, you take the other portal, and you catch them off guard. A lot of ways to work with it. You do have a limit of, I believe, 5 portals per map. Every time a survivor destroys a portal, you get a portal back. They get blood points for it. They also cannot hear your heartbeat while they're on top of a portal or breaking a portal. Keep that in mind so you can come up behind them. However, Demogorgon has some big feet. He sounds like Happy Feet walking around very damn loud, so they can use that against you too. There's nothing to reduce your footstep sound in Dead by Daylight. Now let's have a look at the perks. What do we have? Corrupt Intervention. Like always, it's going to seal the 3 furthest generators away. The entity's hands will cover the generator. They will be glowing white. Why is this good on Gordon? Well, Gordon's a bit of a prep killer as well. Just like the Hag and just like, well, realistically, Michael Myers is a bit of a prep killer too. So like the Hag, like Michael Myers, like the Trapper, even a slow killer like a Huntress at 110% movement speed. I want to spend the first 2 minutes making sure I have good portal placement. Obviously, it's not what I would commit to. I'd commit to chasers if I saw the right opportunity to take a free M1. I'd take that as well. But this is going to seal the 3 furthest away generators that I'm not going to have to deal with. And it's 6 portals by default, not 5. Thrilling Tremor. When I down a survivor, when I pick them up, any generator a survivor is currently not on will have the entity's claws go on it. For 16 seconds, it'll glow white, and they will not be able to work on it. Any portal or any area that does not have a glowing white generator, I instantly know there is a survivor working on that generator. Therefore, I know what portal to go through and activate if the portal is not activated prior. If the portals are activated prior, I can just activate right-click by right mouse button and see where people are. If you are going through the upside down world, which is through the portal in the ground, keeping in mind you can't just teleport. You need to have a hole in the ground to dig through. So if you have no extra portals, you cannot dig through the ground. If survivors are smart and complete a Jenny with a portal in the middle of nowhere, they shouldn't break the portal and leave it there. That way you're 1/6 weaker. Okay? If you are going through the portal and a survivor is breaking the portal, they instantly let go of the portal. They cannot break it while you're mid-underground. In the Upside Down world, Nurse's Calling does work, and so does Spies of the Shadows. Nurse's Calling will allow you to see people, but because you're tunneling in a straight line, you cannot turn your camera. You're going from destination A to destination B. So you can take note of where people are and use that against them, but at the same time, very high skill gap, very situational, that kind of play. Keeping in mind you don't have a heartbeat while you're in the Upside Down world too, or in the portal. What does Pop Goes the Weasel do? Pop Goes the Weasel, and obviously the further away you are from one portal, and the travel distance will vary based on how long you have to go underground to the other portal. Pop Goes the Weasel, what does it do? When I've downed a survivor and hooked the survivor, the next generator I regress is going to be regressed 25% more after my first kick. So it'll instantly knock off 25%. A Jenny takes 80 seconds to do with one player, 47.5 with 2 players. If the Jenny's almost done and I regress it for that one player, it's going to make them take an additional 20 seconds. It'll knock 20 seconds off straight away and then start ticking back straight away. So that could be very good to do, especially on these generators that people try and do. I would take Shred with Pop Goes the Weasel, more so than taking Shred with Surge. Surge will not activate off a Shred, even though Surge is a Gordon teachable. It does not activate off your dash attack. It will activate off an M1. Now the next perk is an S++ perk on Demogorgon. It is by far his best in slot perk. Just because it's best in slot doesn't mean it's his best at all. It just means it's what will obviously give him the most value, much like Michael Myers is Monitor and Abuse. What does Save the Best for Last do? Every time you M1, which is your left click, you M1 a survivor, you will receive a stack of 5%. You can have one token equals 5%. You can have a maximum at 8 tokens. At 8 tokens, you recover 40% faster from a successful attack with an M1 on a survivor. If you are to hit your obsession, you lose 2 tokens. If you were to have 6 tokens, then hit a survivor, you recover off what you had prior to the tokens. Therefore, if I hit somebody who wasn't my obsession and have 7 tokens, I will still recover at 30%, which is 6 tokens. If I have 6 tokens and hit my obsession, I will then recover at 6 tokens worth rather than 4. Keep this in mind. It's very important to note. Therefore, if you have 8 stacks and the obsession's coming in for a hook trade, you can hit the obsession, recover from 8 stacks, and hit him again. You'll have 4 tokens, but you recover off this 8 stacks, you'll then recover off the 6 stacks, and you'll have 4 left. That way he can't do a hook trade if you were under the hook for whatever reason. However, in hindsight, if your obsession is in front of you trying to force you to hit them, you can activate Shred, which takes about 1.5 seconds, and then just dash on them. And that way you do not consume a stack of Save the Best for Last, and you can save that for the other guys. You see, I kind of steer away a little bit from Shred with Save the Best for Last, because Shred is very powerful. I can bait things out. I can make it look like I'm going to Shred for the window, walk up behind the survivor, watch him try and spin, then M1 him and get a stack. I can use that. At the same time, even though, like I said, Save the Best for Last is best in slot, you could even run Modern Abuse. While you're in the Upside Down world, keep in mind your body is moving. So if you have make your choice and you're all the way away, you can come back in with no heartbeat and then down the other guy. You can do some crazy good plays with make your choice. You can run Sloppy Butcher for the consistency. You can run Barbecue. You can run whatever you want in the slot. But like I said, Save the Best for Last is best in slot. Anyways, guys, that's going to be all for this educational video on Demogorgon. I have done a little bit of Demogorgon content recently, and I hope you guys can tune in and check that out. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, guys, and pop into the educational Dead by Daylight streams that I stream 5 days a week. It's great to have you guys in here, and if you have any questions about DBD, I'd love to answer them all, and you can help me teach the people that are learning the game also. Thank you all for watching, guys.